This is Moseley Rugby Round Up. Coming up, analysis and highlights from the victory over Bristol, plus we look ahead to the Bedford game with Dan Sanderson. Hello and welcome to Moseley Rugby Round Up. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined in our Fort Dunlop studio by Brian Dick. Hi Brian.
Hello there, Paul.
We'll start off today talking about that great victory over Bristol. Why is it though that Moseley seems to be able to pick themselves up for these big games, but some of the lesser games against teams who you think they may be able to beat, they don't seem to perform?
Yeah, the $6 million question, isn't it? I suppose possibly, without being a sports psychologist, I suppose you'd have to say that maybe the threat of a humping from one of the full-time bigger sides in the division is some sort of motivating factor for Moseley. As you say, when they go away to sides that are around them in the league, they tend to struggle. Although I think in the last few weeks we've got to say, as difficult as the 1 point losses were at Plymouth and Leeds, you can possibly now view them as signs of progress, and that obviously culminating in what happened against Bristol, when they really did put together a very good performance for 80 minutes.
And where did they do particularly well, and which players shone for you as well?
Well, it was really interesting actually, because this was Olly Thomas started at 10. It's what a lot of Moseley supporters have been calling for quite a long time. Now, to me, any of Moseley's failings in the last couple of seasons haven't necessarily. I don't think you can put much blame at Brad Davis's door, the incumbent fly half. However, Brad wasn't available, so Olly stepped up, and he's a very mercurial player. He's a bit of a gambler. He rolls the dice, and sometimes those things pay off, and other times they don't. I think what Moseley have wanted from Olly is for the dice rolls or the gambles to be less long shots and just to play a few more percentages. Now, I felt against Bristol, he did that pretty well. He got the balance about right.
And there's the Crossfield kick as well, which was one of the highlights of the game.
Yeah, it was. This is Olly Thomas encapsulated. The vision to pull this off was quite outstanding. There's guys in the Premiership that wouldn't have either the vision or the technical ability to pull this off. And in the end, he picked out Brad Hunt as though he basically put the ball in his hands. So this is it. What we need again at Bedford. Maybe less spectacular. What will matter though for Olly is his game management, up and down the slope. His positional kicking will be absolutely key. If that goes well, Moseley stand a chance. If it doesn't go well, Moseley don't stand any chance.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Bedford in a bit more in a few minutes, but first of all, let's hear from Dan Sanderson. Here's what he had to say.
I suppose the last time you played was Bristol, wasn't it? Where did that performance come from?
I think we've always had it in us. It was probably about the first time we've actually done 80 minutes instead of like Cornish Pirates 60, not even 40, and then the rest of the games we give teams 20 points head start and then see if we can come back. So it was nice it just seemed to click, especially in defence, people not overcommit to rucks, so make a tackle, on your feet, straight back, ready for the next phase, instead of honeypotting to the breakdown, leaving holes. So it was just nothing major, it's just everyone played with a bit of common sense for a change in defence, so it's pleasing to be a part of.
Is that easily recreated on Saturday? Or?
I hope so. I hope that now the penny's dropped, we had a strong 15 out, so hopefully the same thing is going to be happening. It was it's just a matter of the penny dropping, people knowing their exact roles, and people going up, straight back, and the same for attack. Once they've carried the ball, getting straight back and off it again. It's really simple, and it's the first time we've actually done it. So, but Matt has been on about it all season. So it's the first time we've actually, as a group, 15 of us listened for 80 minutes, and I don't think there are any subs either.
Well, that was Dan Sanderson. Now, Brian, what do you think are going to be the important areas for Moseley in this game?
Yeah, well, Dan and the performances of the rest of the forwards will be a key indicator here. They played at Cross Keys last week, and the forwards got pushed around quite a lot, albeit effectively a second string pack. So the first choice players will come back this weekend. And in some ways, Dan Sanderson's performances have been a sort of a barometer of the way the Moseley packs have been going. He was very, very good against Bristol, pretty good against Plymouth, and I think you could probably generalise and say that for the whole Moseley pack as well. So yeah, they all need to be on their game, and further in that interview, Dan mentioned about the Bedford rolling maul, which has been pretty devastating, and something Moseley, he says, haven't dealt with that well. So yeah, they'll need to disrupt what Bedford are trying to do in the forwards, and as I said previously, it'll come down to where and how Moseley use the ball then, and Olly will be key to that.
Okay, Brian, well, thanks for your insights today, and thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week with more Moseley Rugby Roundup.